Right now at 5 o'clock, will you be responsible for paying taxes on CARES Act and other COVID-related stimulus money from the government?
So if you received a stimulus check, the answer is no. However, iTeammate's Richard Essex did some digging and found grants from state and local governments may come with a tax bill.
There is a minefield waiting for just about anybody that received any COVID-related stimulus money. If you receive money from the government, if you receive money from family or a loan from the government, you may have to pay taxes on that. And for business owners, it's even worse. George Sturdiopoulos, the owner of Giorgio's Pizza on Market Street, is happy to have a few lunchtime deliveries these days.
I mean, we've seen a steady decline as the weather's starting to change, the season's starting to change, that there's been a steady decline in business.
He has endured the loss of customers from the pandemic shutdown and the riots in late May. His business didn't qualify for the city's grants to expand outdoor dining. They did receive 3 months of rent assistance, and he's not 100% certain if that money is taxable.
We don't know. So I talked to my CPA, and he told us that he needs to see the grant and the makeup of the grant. So I guess there's specific ways that these grants would be handled according to how they're written. That's my guess, but I'm not a CPA. We're not CPAs.
The Payroll Protection Program was a lifeline for thousands of business owners here in central Indiana. Dr. Matt Will of the University of Indianapolis says the PPP expenses are not tax deductible.
So many people are wondering, well, how do we handle this? Well, the PPP loan is not something that you're going to be able to take off on your taxes because it's untaxable income.
Dr. Will says there are portions of the PPP loan that do not have to be repaid, and the business owners may receive additional tax credits for wages paid during the pandemic.
The important thing everyone needs to remember is everything's going to change. The IRS has yet to finalize the rules. They usually don't do so until April.
The pandemic shutdown forced almost 600,000 people in Indiana off the labor force. Some were able to get by on savings or withdraw money from retirement accounts. According to CPA Leslie Boyd, if you receive money from unemployment insurance or worked multiple jobs, be prepared to pay the taxes.
Really understanding all of those sources of income and the taxability of them and the associated withholding is really important, because the reality is that all of those sources are likely taxable. So making sure that the appropriate tax has been withheld so that there's not a tax surprise later.
And if you took paid time off under the FMLA, or the Family Medical Leave Act, to care for someone infected by the coronavirus, that benefit may also be taxable. Boyd also says that this tax season is not going to be like years past.
It's just the volume of change that we have had this past year, and how you unpack that change and put it into a holistic package and plan for yourself to understand the impact of that and make sure you've taken advantage of all of those changes.
With all the changes in the taxes for this year, it is recommended that you consult a tax professional, or if you have a simple return, use a reputable online tax return service. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Richard, thank you. Governor